today, early in the morning, you had another hearing, for Julian Assange. And essentially, he appeared via video link, and man, it was a mess for journalists to listen in, first of all. There were so many who couldn't even connect to the conference call. And they were shut out, essentially. You're on hold for 1 hour, you're listening to some stupid music, and then they connected the call to the wrong hearing. They were listening to another case that had nothing to do with Assange. And then finally it gets to Assange, and you had updates coming in. And this is absolutely insane. Okay, so I posted about this when it was breaking. Judge overseeing hearing straight up acknowledges that Julian Assange is being held on an outdated indictment. His defense team haven't even seen the new one. Julian Assange should be free. The British and the American legal systems are a farce. This is a kangaroo court. And this is true. This is true. They are holding him on an outdated indictment. So Juan Pasarelli, he's a close friend of WikiLeaks, and he was giving out these announcements. I think he was one of the few that was actually able to connect and listen in. And just to really simplify this for you, the judge said that the United States, the Department of Justice, submitted a new indictment. It doesn't contain any new charges, but they're trying to expand the scope of who's culpable. They're trying to include more people. So not just Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning, but more people. And the judge said, well, hold on a second. This is a new indictment. And I don't know if Julian Assange has been rearrested for it. So let me translate that for you. That means Julian Assange is in jail right now on an outdated indictment. He shouldn't be in jail. He should be outside. He should be free. The United States submitted this indictment way past the deadline. They just submitted this. And Julian Assange is being held regardless because he's a political prisoner. That's why. This whole court is a sham. I mean, once again, I just wanted to illustrate how much of an affront this is, not just upon journalists, but the legal system itself. I mean, the guy jumped bail and they sent him to Belmarsh prison. That is the equivalent of you jumping bail and being sent to Guantanamo Bay. That's not an understatement. If you jumped bail, would you be sent to Guantanamo Bay? Because that's the British equivalent. Belmarsh prison is the British equivalent. We all know he didn't go to Belmarsh prison because he jumped bail. He's in Belmarsh prison because he's a political prisoner. And they just wanted to give time for the AG, for the Department of Justice in the US, to write up bogus charges and try to extradite him. He's a political prisoner. And not only that, but they are gaming the system. They aren't even doing the legal work properly. And he's still being held. Just right there out in the open. And the judge, you know what she said? She said, I don't know if I have the power to dismiss these new charges. So she's essentially saying, well, not my call. He's going to stay in jail. Oh, wow. How convenient. How convenient. And once again, so I just wanted to get the exact quote for you, right? Of what the judge said. Right. So Florence Iveson, who's representing Assange, told the court that the WikiLeaks founder had not seen new material submitted by the US. They haven't even seen this new stuff. We think it is astonishing and potentially abusive. Well, it's not potentially abusive. It is abusive conduct to add a new requirement at the 11th hour, at the last minute essentially, seeking to expand the case while we have spent a year preparing. She said the US had served evidence far too late after after the defense had already served its entire case. Once again, they are gaming the system right there out in the open, and they're also trying to make sure that they can postpone the September 7th hearing as much as possible because they want to have this after Donald Trump is reelected. They don't want to deal with this now. Do you understand? So not only is that beneficial for the Trump administration, but the longer Julian Assange is left to rot and suffer inside Belmarsh, the better for them. You have to remember that this guy has chronic lung issues. He was locked up for 7 years in the Ecuadorian embassy. No exercise, sunlight, exposure, nothing. His mental and physical health have naturally deteriorated because of that solitary confinement. Now he's being punished even more. They won't even give him writing materials. He can't even listen to a radio. And you have cases of COVID inside of Belmarsh prison. And they brought him into this room today without a mask, where you have tons of people going in and out all day long. And he could potentially get infected and worsen his already very serious lung and breathing condition. So they are torturing him mentally and physically, and this has been corroborated. That's what I'm looking for, and this has been corroborated by the UN special rapporteur on torture. So it's not just my opinion; it's not conjecture. This is unbelievable what they're doing to him, man. It's really cruel, and they're trying to make journalism illegal, and they are trying to try him as a spy. Essentially, they are using the 1917 Espionage Act, which Biden and Obama went wild with, prosecuting tons of journalists. They're trying to use that against him, so he might get 170 years in prison. Does that seem normal to you? Does that seem sane? 170 years in prison. Why? We all know why. It's not because he jumped bail. Okay? It's because he exposed the true nature of U.S. imperialism. He exposed their war crimes. And he put up their dirty laundry in public. That's why. That's why they're doing this. They're trying to see how far they can go in decriminalizing. They're trying to see how far they can go in criminalizing journalism and curbing free speech. And once again, don't get it twisted. This is not just Donald Trump. Obama and Biden went wild with the 1917 Espionage Act, which is meant for traitors. It's meant to prosecute Americans who leak information in wartime. I mean, even back then, however, it was also being used nefariously. Make no mistake. It has two intentions, okay? Ostensibly, it's to try traitors and put spies in jail, double agents in jail. But since the beginning, it was used to curb freedom of speech, to stop government secrets getting out, and just regular journalism. And they used it under Obama and Biden, and they're using it again now to try and punish Julian Assange. Unbelievable. And you can see how the UK are playing ball. So, I mean, not only does this threaten journalists worldwide, but this is making a mockery of the UK and the US justice systems. These countries don't have justice systems. This is not justice. This is persecution, and Julian Assange is a political prisoner. So I never want to hear another peep. I never want to hear another peep about the United States or the West saying that Syria and Iraq and Libya and countries in the global south and North Korea are repressive and that they don't have freedom of speech. I don't want to hear another peep about that, okay? When you treat Julian Assange like that, you treat Chelsea Manning like that, you treat Edward Snowden like that, you are the fucking repressive ones, okay? Get that shit straight. Unbelievable.